You're over 40, your job drains the hell out of you, and you think you're too damn tired, or you don't have the time, or you're too old to either start that YouTube channel or start that business you've always been dreaming about. By the time this video is over, there's no reason why you can't flick on that camera, start talking, and begin your journey today. I'm 43 years old. I typically work 2 jobs. My wife and I, we hustle. If you want to build an online business or you just want to start a YouTube channel or something like that, you have to learn to sacrifice. It's not about having time, it's about making time. I'm not here trying to sell you on the fact that it's just extremely simple and you should just be able to do. It's not. It's not. It's hard. I've been learning online business now for the past 15 years. I've had my foot in a lot of different things. They just weren't me. They weren't this. And this is what I've been wanting to do. I just haven't been able to get up the goal to actually get in front of the camera, say something, and put it out there. If you're 40 and above, time's not going to stop. Time doesn't give a shit. It ain't going to stop and wait for you to get everything together. And things are going to be rough around the edges for a minute. The only way that you get good at something is by actually doing. There's not going to be a magic light switch or a pill you can take to just make it all just happen. I do want to give you some tips to kind of make it easier for you. What has helped me with actually getting in front of the camera is getting in front of the camera. There's nothing else that's going to actually make it easier for you. What you can do is you can flip on the camera and just kind of practice. That's what's gotten me to this point right now. I've had it in my head that this is what I'm going to do. Took me a minute to get to this point, but I knew it's what I was going to do. So what I would do is every time I was and clock this, every time I was feeling some sort of way, since it was already in my head that this is what I was going to do, when I was either feeling some sort of way about something or, I was just one of those moments where I just felt like I needed to get something off my chest, I would flip on the camera and that's what I would do, start recording. Now, I would tell myself I was going to put it out, and for some reason, I just never ended up putting it out. I actually have some of those sitting in the cut. If you want to see any of those, if I'm not speaking to straight crickets on the other end of this, let me know. Let me know if you want to see them rough ass videos. And that's a tip, man. If you're feeling some sort of way, have it in your head that you're going to do it. So this way, it's on your mind. You're aware of the fact. You know what I'm saying? So you can think of it when it comes to mind. So when you're feeling some sort of way about something, or you need to get it off your chest, you flip on that camera and you just start talking, even if it doesn't go out. And this isn't me giving you a way out. If you think, shoot, man, this is good enough, I can stick it out there, just my first video, cool, do it. Do it. Because then you've crossed that next barrier. You know what I'm saying? Of actually putting it out there for people to see. If you're just starting out, nobody gives a shit. They're going to give a shit about you as much as time's going to give a shit about you. You're never going to get better. The only way to get better at getting on camera is getting on camera. There's no special trick or anything that's going to get you to that point. Just flick it on and start talking. I've also noticed that after I've finally gotten to the point to where I would turn on the camera, other ideas would flood in my head because maybe you have those ideas. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, this and that. A lot of my time was really focused on time and energy was focused on the fact that I was fearing getting on camera in the first place. So it was stealing away from my creativity. Once it got to the point to where I, was able to at least flick on the camera and just start talking. And I knew that it would eventually come that I'd do this right here. Other ideas were like coming to mind because I wasn't fearing so much the getting in front of the camera. I just knew it was going to happen. For those over 40, I wouldn't wait. Right now is kind of your window. And let me explain that a little bit. Right now, and you can probably agree, you're sick of AI, you know. I mean, I love it in some aspects for what it can do, and it definitely helps my workflow. I have a Google AI Premium. I know a lot of people have Chat GPT. I do Gemini. It's just my thing. Um, but it helps with my workflow, you know. So there are things that I like about AI. But when I'm on YouTube and I'm going through shorts or something like that, it is irritating as hell to me to where you can't even, I mean, shoot, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be like some wholesome, like heartwarming video, right? About some animal or something like that. And you're sitting there nowadays, you're just sitting there second guessing going, is this AI? You know what I'm saying? So that kind of gets on my nerves. Right now is your perfect time because, people want that connection, that human connection. And for you to start now, you're in that window. See, people are realizing this and they're taking advantage of it. And soon it's just going to be a thing. You just got to do it. I know that that's not really what you want to hear. You really want to hear something that's going to like be that magic switch, but there isn't any. Just like anything else, you've got to do to get better. Maybe in the back of your head, you're thinking, man, I don't really want to be that salesman-y type of person. I don't like it either. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, I did that MLM type of stuff, and it wasn't me. I found a little bit of results in it, but not much because I just wasn't about pushing something on people. The only thing I'm selling here is for you to get up off your ass and actually do what you've been wanting to do for the longest. Or if it's something that you just thought about, shoot, don't wait. Don't let that those festering thoughts become almost like a routine to where that's all you do is think about wanting to do it and never do it. We're habitual creatures, man, and things just become pattern too easy. So yeah, people they just they want to hear from real people who have real stories, who have real feelings, who are struggling. You don't need to be all polished. You know what I'm saying? That day and age where people rent cars and houses to all look good on camera and sell shit, and who the hell wants that anyway? You know what I'm saying? Some people actually fall for that shit, but that's not you really can't relate to that because I'm sure as hell not there. I've never been there. So that's not really who I want to hear it from, and that shit kind of is just so gimmicky. And it's not about just having it all together. It's nice and refreshing to me. I'm sure it is for you when you see somebody that's sort of rough around the edges. They're showing you how to do something from ground zero, which right now this is ground zero for me. And I only expect to get better as I go, just because I know that that's how things work. Don't tell yourself that it's going to be different just because it's you. More than likely, your first few videos aren't really going to gain a lot of traction in the first place. I would think of it more as a starting point of a getting used to. You know what I'm saying? And that's good for you. And if they do take off, shit, good. You never know what's going to happen. Um, when it comes to equipment, not a lot of equipment you need. You just need your phone, a computer, and you. You know what I'm saying? In many cases, you really just need your phone. If you're good at editing on a see me, I do all my editing on the computer. Um, and let's be clear about this. You don't necessarily need to learn how to edit. If you're very good at just getting in front of the camera and flowing, that's cool. A lot of us aren't really like that. For me, I do a lot of ums and a lot of clearing my throat, and there's a good time or two when I hit a brain fart and I can't fucking think of anything that I wanted to say. It's like I just hit a roadblock. At those times, I'm going to want to cut those out. And those are simple edits that anybody can do. And I'm going to teach people how to do that on my channel. Kind of like simple edits for those who are shy to get on the camera. When it comes to say what you're going to say, what if you're the type of person that's like, I don't have anything to talk about? What about starting a YouTube channel? What I'm doing right now. You just teach them as you go, because as you go, if you have full intentions on continuing to do it, then you're always going to be learning. There's no reason why you wouldn't. That's just how life is. So as you're going, as you're learning, as you're doing, you're just telling people what you're doing. We make it so hard, and it's all up here. On my channel there's going to be a lot of like self-awareness and development type of material, because I believe that that's kind of like the foundation for everything. Everything starts up here. Everything. Whether you can get something out, it's all up here. When you do, it's up here. It's because you allowed yourself. And don't think that you don't have anything to offer, because you do. Shit, man. If you're around my age or older, you've had decades. You have decades of knowledge, decades of things you've been through. There's no reason why you don't. You just have to allow yourself to realize what you've been through and then just share it. Man, there's always going to be somebody that can relate and is where you are or were. When it comes to maybe you're fearing when the camera's on, keeping where you're at. This isn't about perfection. There's no rules to it. Have yourself like me right now. I've got a laptop sitting right next to me. So when I hit those moments where I have a brain fart, I just outline my material. You don't want to have it written so you have to sit there and read it, boom, boom, boom. But while you're on camera. But why is there a dog in my yard? But where was I? Yeah, you don't want to be reading it while you're on camera, but have yourself an outline so you can pause. And then, like I said, those simple cuts, you just cut that out. There's not a lot of equipment you need. You just need your phone, maybe some tripod, a microphone. I wasn't even going to end up using a microphone because I didn't have one, except right before this video, we went to Walmart and I picked me up a cheap. It seems to work okay. Down the road, I might get a better one, but I wasn't going to use one to begin with in the first place. I was just going to use CapCut to maybe flick a few switches and try to enhance the voice a little bit. That was it. So there's really no excuse why you can't get started. If starting a YouTube channel is what you want to do, or just starting a business online in some way, fashion, or form, I would suggest subscribing to this channel because that's exactly what I'm going to teach you how to do. I'm not completely brand new at this. I'm just brand new at this. You know what I'm saying? I actually gotten a YouTube channel up to, well, it's sitting over 1,000 subs. I just don't do anything with it. You might think that's kind of crazy, but it just happened to be with the niche and my circumstances surrounding it. I stopped posting in 2019. It took me 2 years to get 1,000 subs. It was about bearded dragons. My bearded dragon passed. Now I did have another one, but just the situation is just what it was. And at that time, I wasn't even trying to like make a business out of it. I was literally just sharing me caring for my bearded dragon. That's all it was, and it's still sitting there. I haven't done anything with it. Maybe I'll try to do something with it. I just don't have a bearded dragon. So what the hell am I going to do? You know what I mean? This channel right here, that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be about, especially starting a YouTube channel, it's going to be about starting a business online, and you're going to be able to see it from somebody building a business from ground zero. I'm not all the way up here trying to tell you this is what you got to do because it's so easy. You know what I mean? It's not easy. You're going to have to dedicate time to do it. There's no question about it. You're going to have to make that time. And everybody's circumstances are different, especially when it comes to those involved that support you or the lack thereof. Thankfully, my wife is very supporting, always has been over the years, no matter how many times I've failed at what I was doing. And if you have a passion, man, even better. You already have something locked down that you want to do, something you want to share, a hobby, something like that, man, go for it, man. Now is the time. I know it seems oversaturated and it'd be like real hard to get out there, but YouTube, the new algorithm, it's actually pushing people, new creators, a lot more than it was before. Just to kind of finalize this video, there's going to be a lot more. I know this one was a little rough, and it's going to be like that for a minute, and I kind of expect to be talking to crickets for a minute, so it's okay. You know what I'm saying? If somebody does come across this and they found it helpful, awesome, man. Subscribe, like, help me out. If you're into helping out small creators, drop a comment, let me know, and man, I'll support you. I know what it's like. It really only takes you flipping on the camera, shooting, and then uploading your video. There's always an audience out there for everybody. You're not going to find something new that isn't already out there. There's a lot of people that do a lot of the same things, but each one of them has their audience because those people relate to them the most. That's what I'm saying. Just be genuine. That's all it is. Just speak from your heart, man. I don't want to keep you any longer. That's really all I came on here to say because that's all you need to know to start your own channel now. Just flip on your camera, fucking say something, turn it off, and upload it to YouTube. There's your first video. There's your first video. What is it that you're actually scared of? You've got to have that why. If this helped you out at all, or gave you that boost to kind of get started and get going, like, subscribe, or if you're just into supporting small creators, like, subscribe. I'm open to respectful criticism, but I'll take what I can get. You are who you are. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you don't like, and I'll see you next time. And this is Blaine signing out.